Last time on Dice Funk.
There was a homestead with some rowdy cowboys who were threatening you, including Lucius, the blue dragon slug folk. As I said last episode, there are krill, these tiny shrimp that are being herded around in huge shoals, kind of like, sheep.
Well, this is why, as a reward for us bringing in the extra NPC, they now save us with no rolls required and no negative consequences, because we made that good, important narrative choice earlier, didn't we, DM?
At this point, Allison, who's been watching, runs up your arm, Reaper, up the harpoon, and leaps, and then a giant tube worm bursts out of her palm, like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man web shooters, and grabs onto Barbella.
Actually, interesting here. I forgot. You can change the water's opacity. I don't know if would that apply with the cloudiness in here? Would you consider that like a thing that I could change the opacity of?
Yep. A huge jaw with a long projection on the forehead dangling out, which has a bioluminescent tip, which it can flash on and off some kind of official uniform of something. I think Allison probably yells to you, "Oh my god, that's not one of the Queen's guards. That's the usurper king's executioner."
Yeah, I think the way this goes is the slam that knocks out Barbella and causes her to lose consciousness slams her so that part of her is overhanging one of the volcanic vents, and until her body can be moved, she is taking quite significant burns sort of diagonally across herself from one of these vents. I think the last thing she gets out as she is falling to the floor is she looks to Reaper and goes, "You've got to do this for me," as she's going down, in reference to Reaper having the part that's got to go in the vent.
A pristine blade of ice forms and projects from their hand, piercing through basically the lure on the anglerfish, specifically, severing it from the anglerfish entirely. Before it explodes and little bits of ice shrapnel pierce the exterior of the couple and either knocks them out or bleeds them out. In terms of lethal versus non-lethal, I'd say that this is another situation just like with the first one of the earlier fights, where because their friend is being immediately threatened, they effectively, regrettably, do a lethal takedown here.
I want to note that Reaper is visibly panicking, trying to think this thing through, and has a moment of trying to connect with Barbella and how Barbella's religion works and everything, and has this simplistic moment as she's sort of flying over everything that she comes to this realization of a volcano. And if the pool opens up, I want Reaper to dash towards it and somersault slam dunk this thing into the pool.
Now, so you've introduced to me the concept of having multiple staple starches in the meal now, and I'm I need to find a way to make a meal that has noodles and pasta and rice and fries in it at once, and probably bread.
Yes.
Maybe some stuffing.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, all that.
I don't know how I'm going to tie them together.
It doesn't matter. I think if you eat that, you just unlock the next level of health. It's like a bonus stage. You've achieved health plus.
Austin, that's a dangerous thing to say to me. I will follow that advice. It's the only chance I've got of getting healthy at this point.
Listen, we can't just talk about fucking food at the beginning of this episode. We have to kick our game up, all right? Because the audience will have heard the Dry Team's last arc, and I can't get shown up again. Not after the Black Hole Space Station arc last season. The second arc, I'm getting fucking embarrassed in front of my listeners. Come on.
Okay. What do you want to talk about? Do you want to just if Wet Team is so much better and showing us up? Do you want to talk about baby geniuses? Apparently, that's what makes Wet Team cool.
Wait, no, they're the Dry Team, Laura, first of all.
Oh, Dry Team, yeah. I don't know what team I'm on. I'm dry right now, I assumed.
This is not a great start. We really have to put on our best performance, or Dan's never going to let me hear the end of it.
Are you guys saying you don't come to the recordings pre-wet?
I mean, usually, but, I was a little busy today. I didn't have time to pre-wet.
Well, my bathroom did get flooded earlier, so I guess I am partially wet too. So that does make two of us.
I pre-wet for most major events in my life, so just so I can stay ahead of things.
So when you wet yourself, it just blends in?
Wow. I gotta keep my secrets.
Okay.
I can't reveal to you all the tricks of my trade. You have to subscribe to my course.
All right. Last time we left the adventure, you all answered the riddles 3 and completed your mission. This would have been the end of the arc under normal circumstances. You have revived the Thrycreen isopod, Elphago. The golden light settles on the ocean floor. It creates the Well of Resurrection. Reaper, you slam dunk the scale in, and this abyssal gorge just disgorges a big bubble. Inside there's a large roly-poly, like fully bundled up. If it unfurls, it'll be like human size. But right now it's just the roly-poly orb man in the bubble. But everyone is beat to shit. Mm-hmm. So at the beginning of this episode, I need us to talk about our hit points, about our hit dice, about our healing spells. I need you all to paint me a picture of your injuries. This is going to be the arc climax, the arc final boss, where you kind of go in like John McClane at the end of Die Hard, feet bleeding, limping. It's not like a cool, badass, full health duel.
So I can tell you very quickly how Barbella's doing. No expendable resources of any kind left. No healing resources of any kind left. And on, I believe, 1 HP?
I think I gave you a little bit more than that. I think I gave you a little bit.
Yeah. I'm on basically fucking nothing, and I have a real fucking bad scar sort of diagonally across myself, which is going to manifest as I get disadvantage on charisma rolls now.
Not all charisma.
I look a little.
Not all charisma rolls.
Specifically persuasion. I think it was. Yeah, I've got disadvantage on persuasion because I look a little more intimidating now.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. Having all of your charisma skills dinged would be too harsh.
Yes.
But yeah.
I knew what I was on about. I'm sleepy. We recorded last week at like daytime hours, and I got used to it. And now it's back to like midnight to 2 a.m. And I'm like, I've got to get back in the zone.
Yeah, you had the weights off last time, and now they're back on.
Yeah. But yes, I will. Okay, I found the version of the sheet I should be using that has the specifics. I have a couple of hit dice. I have a couple of. I got a little bit of health, but I've used every resource I have. I have nothing in the tank. I'm limping on my last legs here. Yeah,
it was almost like this was balanced to be the final boss, and then I had to add another episode because something happened upstairs.
Then something happened with the cool team.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, listen, we have a cool individual in our party, and then there's the others. The question is, who's the cool one?
It's me. Yeah, sorry, I don't mean to ruin the mystery, but it is me. I'm the cool one.
Boys has 18 hit points, a single first level spell slot, a single third level spell slot, and I actually did arcane recovery earlier in the arc, so that I don't have extra spell slots there. And I have 3 hit dice left to use. So that's my resources for now.
So Reaper's kind of low on hit points right now. She's around like 18. But I have all my hit dice left because the last time I got really fucked up, Barbella used all of her lay on hands on me. So I haven't actually had to use any hit dice. And also I'm a monk. So if I just take a short rest, I get all my key points back. So Reaper actually theoretically could go into this feeling very confident about herself. She's like, what do you mean? I've never felt stronger.
Reaper's going to need to carry the party a little, I think, for a minute. Because I'm going to roll some hit dice now, but it's not gonna do me great, I don't think.
Yeah, Reaper, you probably feel pretty accomplished. You solved the riddle in the last episode. The giant riddle snake in the distance, kind of receding into the dark of the ocean. It's glittering silvery rainbow scales playing light across your triumphant face as this giant bubble comes up out of the floor.
Yeah, I'm going to pop the bubble.
You try. We've seen this happen before. When you try to hit it, I think in front of your own eyes, you saw Barbella try to hit the bubble containing Allison with her spear, and it bounced off. You try to punch this one, it also bounces off. And Allison looks at you and, coming over to you, Reaper, and says, I think you're not supposed to do that. I was extremely disoriented when you opened mine early. You know how, most dudes can't breathe underwater, right?
But this person's from underwater, I believe.
Yeah, but that's like an exception. Normally, you're not supposed to. Anyway, they're supposed to take them. We're supposed to take them to the gig.
Okay, well, unfortunately, I have to ask them a question first.
Do you? Do you?
Yes, it is vitally important.
And it can't wait until we get back home.
Well, home is currently under attack, I believe. So, I need to ask them if they can fight.
Oh, that's a good point. Somewhere in the losing consciousness, that kind of eluded me.
Yeah, Allison says, I thought we would have to face the Queen's Guard trying to still revive our queen, but if the usurper has sent his executioner, I have no idea what's happening. I mean, it's probably not good. We should be getting back.
Well, we're gonna wait 5 minutes, to be very clear.
By any chance, do any of you have, some kind of, bean or morsel I could eat that would, put me back up to, all my spell slots and all my health and all my things back as if I took a long rest, but just instantly I eat it and I'm in that state? Does that exist in this world?
Most fantasy universes have a bean of some sort, I've found.
Yeah. Look, I wasn't gonna name it, but can I have a fucking senju bean or some shit? I need something.
Not right now. No, I think the kind of the drama of this is that you all successfully completed your mission, but you're going to be in rough shape going to this confrontation, which I like. Reaper, you can continue trying to pop the bubble if you want. I'm just signaling as the DM that there will be consequences if you do this.
No, I mean, this was more of a character thing of Reaper just trying to find out if this person is any use, or if it's like, oh, cool, we have a civilian, and we're about to go back to town full of invaders, so this is great.
Yeah, that's a risk you take. I will also say, how are you feeling vis-a-vis this religious pilgrimage? You just solved the riddle. Is there any sense of awe or peace coming over you? Any protective instinct over the civilian, or are these all annoying, non-strong people still?
So, I mean, Reaper's, I know she's evil, but her evilness is mostly, in selfishness, and, being just kind of cool with bad things happening, as opposed to, actively trying to cause them. So, if this is someone she has to...
I mean, I wouldn't have said evil. I'd have just said, kind of dark.
Well, she is evil in a way that she assumes evil is, so to speak. She's an idiot. She doesn't really know what she's doing. But I think she doesn't have any kind of profound religious experience after seeing and solving the riddle, per se. I think she's very proud of herself for having done so, and she perhaps feels a level of respect towards Barbella that she maybe didn't have before, but I don't think it has changed fundamentally how she thinks and feels. But she is also of the mindset of, I have to go back to protect this town. It would be nice if this person was a cool, awesome warrior, but that seems like it just won't happen. I'll have to kill more people to make up for it.
You're not ready to convert to the religion, but you might not call the religion lame the next time it's brought up.
Yes.
All right. So you are all probably exiting the geothermal activity area with all the magma and the strange clouds of probably dangerous material. Let me have this picture. You're carrying a big bubble with this arthropod inside. And Allison is there, probably looking at your wounds, Barbella, because you probably look cool to her, if scary to other people.
Yeah, I think right now the situation is, I'm not sure that Barbella knows the extent of these burns yet. So I think right now she's imagining much more like just a cool little mark. Like I went through some battle, and not like, oh, you went through the ringer there a bit.
Yeah, last episode, that executioner threw you through a chimney at the bottom of the ocean, and then you landed on a volcanic, fissure. So...
Yeah, I passed out unconscious over a volcanic fissure. That's not a good place to take a nap.
No. So everybody's rolling. What are their conversations? What are you doing? And let me know, what your plan is.
I will say that Boyce is definitely on edge about the prospect of the town being attacked. In fact, I would say that he could be seen kind of leafing through some of his notes and some of their diagrams, and one of the things they pull out is effectively what looks to be effectively what would be considered a blueprint for the entire. Imagine if you saw a diagram for what Walt Disney expected Epcot to be in a hypothetical, something kind of in that sort of scale, and one looking at it could see what Zolfo is like now, and as they're moving, Boyce is basically kind of muttering a little bit okay, if the town is under attack, where would be the most likely places they'd be targeting first? And just kind of worrying a bit over the whole matter as he's moving along with the others and just looking over the plans there.
I would imagine if you're going to attack the town, you would attack the building where the school is. So many individuals in a closed environment, you'd cause the most destruction there.
Are we assuming that the people attacking the town are the people upset we didn't bring the queen back?
As far as I could tell, I could not care at all who they are.
Well, there's a reason I care who, because I'm just going to put a hypothetical out here. And maybe this is me thinking about the place I'm thinking about because it's the place I think about a lot, but if it's the people upset we didn't bring back their queen, could they be going for the church to try and get insight on how to follow the riddlefish portals more or something to bring their queen back without us?
Right. Maybe even going so far as to holding any holy entities, figureheads, and leaders hostage for some leverage.
Right, you see where I'm thinking, and it's not just because I like riddles that I'm thinking that. I think it might actually be a thought that's good, maybe.
And I highly doubt we can defuse that situation with a rousing brain teaser or few.
Although I've conquered the strongest of the riddles, correct? The one I did?
I don't know. I was unconscious when you solved your riddle, so I couldn't possibly say. I thought I felt a spiritual connection with you. I was falling asleep on a fiery vent at the time. Oh, that sounds pretty cool too. Yeah. I like the scar. I mean, it wasn't very cool. It was very hot. Oh god, is it noticeable? Yes. Oh. Cool. Everyone's going to see it. Just what I was hoping to hear. But thank you for doing the riddle, though. I should probably say that. Thank you. You did a riddle, and it was it was the last of the three, so it probably was a tricky one. And now I don't have to go back to my religious leader, completely embarrassed to have failed in a religious pilgrimage for a second time. So thank you very much for saving this holy journey so that I don't have to go back and apologize once again to the person I look up to.
Reaper is gonna be taken aback for a moment and be like, I only really did it to make sure that the person I want to come back comes back. Really, when you think about this is very clearly her you don't have to say anything, Baka kind of moment. Right. She's not used to somebody genuinely thanking her for anything, so she's very unsure how to react to this.
I think Barbella's response is to go well, even if you only did it for you, it really helped me, and I appreciate you not just writing it off as stupid. So thanks.
And to add to that point, I'm pretty sure that for Elfagio there, I don't think they're going to care whether you did it for yourself or not. You know, the result for them is probably the same either way, you know?
Yeah, lucky Alfredo. The little bubble who gets to sleep while we save the town.
Inside the bubble, this is the Pokemon Glossopod, is what I put in the Roll20. It's tightly curled into a pill bug, but you still see a little snot bubble of the honk shoe as he's sleeping away.
How about this if you're feeling sleepy, Reaper? What if we keep an eye out, and if we happen to stumble past another riddle portal, we throw you in, you get bubbled and full of worms, and we just carry you in the bubble form back, and then, you know, if that helps?
No, I would like my own strength. I don't want the worms to be what everyone thinks is cool about me. Everyone knows what's cool about me is how I control the shadows, right?
I don't know. I mean, I think that rail grinding you did earlier was honestly pretty cool too, you know?
I think when I think of you being cool now, I think of that one riddle you did while I was unconscious. That was pretty cool.
But where does the shadows rank? Is it number 2 then for you?
Sure, it's probably number 2.
List your favorite things about me.
It's at least in the top 10 for sure. Absolutely.
Allison says, I like your scar too, Reaper. You know, where'd you get that one? You were completely mauled by a goblin shark in the first arc. I didn't make you take a disadvantage for being knocked down, but I think it'd be interesting if you and Barbella both had some kind of matching scar situation.
Yeah, so Reaper has 2 scars, I believe. One across the chest from when they were taken down by the shark, and then one from her climactic punch with Grammy Capehart. So she just kind of looks and she's like, well, this one comes from an intense battle with one of the greatest creatures in the sea. And this one came from... I don't want to talk about that one.
I punched a grandma too hard.
I punched a grandma too hard because family is stupid.
Well, you were saying that about riddles until a little while ago. You know, maybe family's not so stupid.
I'll note, Reaper does seem a little genuinely sad thinking about family. Like, she doesn't have, like, a witty retort or anything. She does seem, like, genuinely, like, a little angsty about it.
It's fine, you've got us now. We're family.
Cope and seethe about it.
Yeah, whether you like it or not, you've got family now. Fuck you.
Can I get a survival check from Boyce looking at the green print of Zolfo? Because you mentioned like approaches and strategies for that. We're not looking at an actual map, so let's get the number there.
Okay, before I do, I still have exhaustion, but can I ask that I can negate it based on the fact that this is Boyce analyzing the one thing that he has been researching extensively, so it's just a normal roll?
I mean, yeah, I think this is like your background, I think we can say. But I do want to keep in mind that 2 of the party members have exhaustion, because we're going to talk about that in a second.
That's true. All right. I have a -2 anyways on this, so let's go. That is a 6. So
yeah. It's not good. I think you looking at this, you're like visibly having trouble breathing because of the events in the brine pool. It's not that you're not smart. It's just you're in a bad shape right now. So let's get Constitution saves from everybody right now.
All right.
Sure.
Okay. Well, I was a little better. I got a 9.
Constitution.
18.
5.
All right, so everyone but Reaper fails. I think it makes some sense. As we just said, Boyce, you're having trouble breathing. Barbella, you were very badly burned in that fight, and you're just not feeling very well. And you all are getting the sense that you're not going to make it back to town before you pass out. I don't know who says that first, but you all, I think, are slowly coming to that realization that physically that's just not going to happen.
I have at least a way for us to be ferried back to town, in the form of maybe Gowdy could become larger and be able to for people to kind of in some way. I was gonna say, how do we hold on while we sleep? If we have passed out or something. But
you just sort of lie perpendicular to the direction of the body. You just sort of drape yourself over. So that your arms are on one side, your legs are on the other, and that sort of counterbalances and keeps you on. Maybe.
Or just go inside go inside Goudy's mouth. It doesn't have it's a construct. It's not like it has a digestive system, so that's an option too.
Yeah, I think Barbella approaches this as a sort of we need to be usually I would say treat this like a marathon, not like a sprint, but I think that we'd have to do like a super marathon's worth of what we've got in the tank. Do we have any ideas? Anyone other than me? I have no resources left. I can hit people with my stick and that's it now.
I mean, climbing on the math construct isn't a bad idea. If you're tired, you wouldn't have to physically move yourself. I don't know if you'll get restful sleep considering how dangerous this ocean is, but it would allow you to at least rest yourself a little bit. What's
the shortest long rest that could exist? Could like an hour and 10 minutes be a long rest? Is that long enough? Is that short enough that the village wouldn't be destroyed?
Perhaps if you're all too exhausted, I could swim ahead and see what's going on and then intervene if necessary while you keep your pace. I am, as we've all seen, very fast.
We did establish you were going to go run the thing into the hole because you are the fastest. If someone's got to go fast, it might be you that's got to go fast.
I love to go fast.
That's the one phrase.
That does sound like the most sensible option. It's just, I'm like Barbella. I just wish there was more we can do. I mean, I can make someone faster for like a minute at best, but that's not going to get us all the way back in Lickety Split here.
Are you sure it's not? Maybe we're closer to being back than we think.
I think that the world needs your brains and your brawn to do this, so I think it's best you not overexert yourself, Reaper's going to say, looking to Boyce and Barbella, respectively.
That's mighty considerate of you to say, Reaper. I guess, based on your proposal, maybe you and Allison should, take lead, and we try to, bring up the rear as well as we can without overextending, but...
I tried consulting the riddle book for insight, and it took me far too long to solve this one. I'm really embarrassed how long this one took me to solve. I have 4 legs, but no feet. When you get tired, have a seat. What am I?
It's a chair.
It's a chair.
I did it again! I am the strongest!
It literally said seat in the riddle. It said seat in the riddle, but
Don't take this from me! I'm on
been
a roll now! Give me that book! I'm gonna solve every riddle in it!
I've been trying for like 2 minutes to solve this one. I feel quite... I'm not on my A game.
Pretty much. The only other idea I had is Boyce will procure the satchel of explosives from the Kapar family. It's like, Reaper, I'm not saying that you need to use this, but if you want, if you could throw this hard enough, I'm sure it can do some damage to someone if you need to get another edge on things in a fight. I mean,
so I shouldn't use it to just blow up the school because that's what I innately want to do with an intrusive thought?
I mean, listen, that is free information you've given to me. Okay,
I use it against the bad guys instead.
That would be preferable, yes. I mean, listen, there are problems with the school's construction, the building's construction. Some of it was not to my standards. I'm not saying we should destroy it now, but there is a procedure we need to go through for it. But I'm just offering, if you want to take this as an extra resource for yourself to help in this, whatever you get into, you're welcome to have it, Reaper.
Thank you. I'm going to use it to destroy people. It will be satisfying.
Yeah, just be safe.
She's quietly thinking to herself, I might use it to destroy the school if I haven't used it by the end of all of this.
Destroy the school, then just
But she's not saying that part out loud.
I'll destroy the school and then blame someone else. No one will ever know.
That's fine. We'll replace it with a religious academy for the riddle religion, and make it a sort of that's your education choice now. Come learn my riddles.
Might have proposed the Ridligion, if you want to call it that.
That's dangerous. That's dangerous. Okay, get going. Go fast, like you gotta, Reaper.
Gonna go fast, and Reaper starts shooting off.
All right. Yeah, you're gonna run ahead. Boyce and Barbella, you are kind of hanging back. You're all very tired. At a certain point, I think you're all just gonna collapse or lose consciousness here. Is there anything you want to do or say before that happens?
I know I said this a little bit back, Barbella, but I'm sorry that my my retreat there caused you a bit more harm than I think any of us were expecting there, Barbella.
Oh, it's cool. We did it. We did it. And I'm not gonna beat us up over the path we got to get there. It was the path that got us there, and any path that gets you to the solution of, what you're doing in life or a riddle, however you get to the answer, doesn't matter. The answer, the fact you got there is the important thing. So it's all good.
There is a truth to that. I mean, I'm not sure what path it's going to take to finish building the town like I'm hoping to, but I'm been tackling this whole conundrum for years at this point. Ever since I came with my friend.
I'm confident you've got this. And if anything else, if the town is getting attacked, there's going to be probably going to be increased funding for redevelopment available, because that'll become higher on the priorities list, and that'll probably mean you get to build some stuff. So, positives. If Reaper blows up the school, you'll probably get to design a new school, so that'll be fun.
I will count that as a blessing as well as I can, to say the least.
It's it doesn't have to be entirely good to be a blessing. Sometimes your blessing comes in the form of rubble full of educational supplies.
At least rubble would be like materials to build stuff with. It reminds me of one of the exercises we did early on in my my schooling days. We had an experiment where we had to build like a bridge to support a weight out of spaghetti and glue, and by the time we were all done, we realized that it couldn't support any weight. It was just the noodles would get soft in the water, and the glue was water soluble. The whole thing was a waste of time to prove the point that whatever you're trying to build, you got to have the right materials, you got to have the right plan and approach, and I don't know how we're going to get Zolfo built up to the size it needs to be at this rate,
That's very true. Very, very true. Sorry, I'm getting real sleepy. I'm gonna try and solve riddles until I fall asleep. What kind of pasta can never reach your mouth? Elbow.
Eventually, Barbella, Boyce, Allison, and the bubble with the Thrycreen inside stop to make camp, and you all pass out one by one. But as the world is going dark around you, Barbella, and you're trying to remember how many fish a leg has, or how many legs a fish has as part of some riddle, the darkness is creeping in at the corners of your vision, and you hear something swimming towards you. In your periphery, you hear and you see a shadow kind of fall over you, and then you lose consciousness.
That's not good. Probably.
You don't have positive associations naturally with shadows?
I didn't even think of that.
Your best friend is like half shadows.
Reaper came back to get us. Reaper came back to be like, oh, I saved the day, and now I'm here to get you all.
Turns out they sucked. Let's go, gang.
Cue credits music. Wow, this was a fast episode, everyone. Pack it up.
All right. So this is interesting. The way those Constitution saves worked out, we're going to have the one person who's still pretty fighting fit going right into the action, and then we're going to have another adventure with the injured party. So we'll cut back to that. Reaper, can I get a perception check as you approach the kind of town limit of Zolfo?
Sure. Now, with this, I do have disadvantage, so I botched with a 4.
Oh, that's not good. So you're...
Yeah, to be fair, it wasn't going to be much better if I had kept the higher number, but I do botch because of the disadvantage.
Sure. So you're very fast. You're a monk. That's the fastest class. You make good time getting there. You can see in the distance some of the points of interest. The gig is the biggest one. It's the hotel that is kind of hanging out at the bottom of the plant island above you. So you see that kind of inverted spire down into the town. You also see the school, which is in a giant turtle shell, as we discussed before, and you see the Church of the Riddlefish. Those are like the three main things you see. But because you botched, you have a hard time like telling what's going on in town. Like there's people running, you hear people yelling, something's going on, but you are just not getting a good picture from this distance. And I think
Can I theorize why?
please.
It's because Reaper is kind of busy singing a song to herself. She's like, the power that is me, we all dance in fire, trapped in this machine.
Oh my. Okay, I didn't know you were going to botch. So here's what happens is that the town is full of bad guys. There's people there on hippocampi, the underwater horses. There's people who have wands like revolvers, and they're attacking your town. This is a classic Western scene of the bad hombres menacing the town folk. So they're all riding around saying like, "Where's Allison? Where's the Queen's remains? Bring them out, or we're gonna start shooting." Just real bad, a bad posse. And you are kind of just bumbling into town, not really getting a good sense of where you should be, how you should be conducting yourself. And someone's going to get the drop on you right now. So I'm going to put this.
Those bastards.
Yeah, I was going to say if you got a decent roll that you could wait at the edge of town, scope it out, maybe do a stealth, maybe do, something more elaborate. But nope, you're in trouble. So Here we go.
This is kind of how Reaper wants it.
I'm glad. Where did I put this picture? Where is it?
I'm holding my breath now. This had better be the best picture I've ever seen in my whole life. It's got to be life-changing now.
Oh, no.
Oh, look at this guy. It's like that fish that eats all the algae off of your fish tank, but like it's got like all these little tiny little baby legs.
What if you took a naked mole rat but gave it like 6 extra legs?
Yeah. I like the extra tendrils. They're almost like feelers because I have a feeling it doesn't have eyes, but it uses those tendrils to see where it is along the ground.
Yeah, it's got butt whiskers.
Yes, butt whiskers.
It does have butt whiskers.
It's me, Butt Whiskers, the outlaw.
I'm writing this in the box, Austin.
Hey there. This town ain't big enough for the 800 of us.
It's funny you say that. In the real world, these creatures do travel in huge packs. So this is a sea pig.
Aww.
It's cute is what it is.
Sea pigs, despite their name, are not a kind of pig. They are a kind of sea cucumber, which is a misleading name. Cucumbers are not related at all to these creatures. They are animals, to be clear. But sea pigs are kind of pink but semi-translucent. Like if you look closely, you can see through its skin inside of its body. But this bandit you are face to face with is like human-sized, slightly anthropomorphic, wearing a black hat and pointing a wand at your back. Reaper, forget about whatever his name was going to be. I'm the bad outlaw Butt Whiskers.
Butt Whiskers? Is that the title?
It's a family name.
So you, Mr. Butt Whiskers?
You're talking awful smart for someone who's about to be having a whole other face. After I shoot you in the one you have, you're going to need a new one.
You have a wand to my back. How is it going to blow up my face?
You want to find out?
I don't think you really want to start this fight. I mean, I do, but that's because I'll win.
Why is that?
Because I'm strong. I just solved the Riddlefish's dilemma and brought someone back. That's how powerful I am.
So it's true, y'all got a big snake? I thought it was a bunch of occult lies. I thought you all were trying to do some kind of scam down here.
I don't consider myself part of the church. I just rock at doing riddles, apparently.
Yeah, well, you're gonna have a bad time if you want to live here, because we ain't leaving without the queen's body. So this is your last chance.
Well, you know, we shouldn't let a good idea go to waste. Reaper's gonna say, but I have the body right here, and he's going to hold out the satchel of explosives.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Fuck me.
Excellent.
I guess deception.
18!
Fuck!
It was almost a crit! It was almost a crit!
Oh my god. Oh my god. What is happening?
Austin, we love you, but you are making us do an extra episode in the arc, so like, you know, we gotta have something on our side.
Okay, so you don't get the crit, but your disadvantage is still at 18, so you succeed. I feel like giving you a little bit of the crit sauce though, because this is so good. All right, what are you imagining here? Because this is a you know, a bad cowboy, but his face is like a pink cucumber, and he has a cool 6-shooter wand, and I was like, oh, sick, boss fight just for a Reaper, and you're gonna do some Wile E. Coyote bullshit.
Well, I don't know if this person is like the leader, if Mr. Butt Whiskers is the commander of this posse, so to speak. But my hope is that if they take this, they can. If they are, then then I'll act on it. But if not, they're going to take it to their leader, because I assume there's someone in command of this invading force, and potentially halt some of the hostilities a little bit.
Well, because of your cataclysmically bad perception roll, you don't know any of that stuff right now. What I'm telling you is you have absolute, clear road to end this particular thing, which is you're kind of caught unaware, caught flat-footed. You look behind you, you can see Zolfo has a bunch more of these guys. So the sea cucumbers, the sea pigs especially, travel in large numbers, like scuttling across the sea floor, eating up detritus usually. Here they're just they're a posse of bad guys. If you blow this man up, he will die and everyone will run over, which will give you a chance to go to the school, the gig, or the church, like the 3 areas right now that are of concern. So you can just say you do that and you do it, or you can try something else, but you've earned the right.
So this is such a huge decision, because I have not said it to this point, but Reaper has actually never killed anyone. Although
that
she
tracks.
thinks she's tough enough to do it, but she has never actively done it before. But I also know in my heart, Austin loves some John Wick-esque shit. So I absolutely want Reaper to somersault forward and throw a shuriken back behind her and just nail it into the satchel and blow this person into fucking scraps.
Yeah, I mean, normally I would never let someone use a bomb non-lethally. We can talk about it if you would like. So, I mean, it's not off the table.
I mean, if there's a world where they just get very, what's the word? Dismembered, but theoretically could still survive, I'm okay with that as well.
Are you going to get rid of butt whiskers? Are you going to deny those whiskers?
Yeah, Mr. Butt Whisker is going to be down to Mr. Butt Whisker.
Next time we see them, they're going to be stood up on their back legs, because they're only going to have 2 legs and 2 arms left. They're going to have missed the middle 6 legs.
Oh.
Sea cucumbers have no brain, no eyes, no heart. They can regenerate all tissue within about 6 weeks.
There we go. That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, not for him. It's going to suck. He's about to lose half his body. But
It's going to be an awkward 6 weeks, but...
Yeah. It's gonna be some time in the hospital, but hey, we all gonna break a bone someday.
That's a faster turnaround time than an ACL tear, so impressive.
You've heard lobsters don't die of natural causes. Like, they only really die if, a predator eats them or stuff. People have been trying to work out, scientists have been trying to work out, how big could a lobster get if, in perfect conditions when nothing is risking harming it? There is, a genuine desire to have, how big of a lobster could we make in space where there's no gravity is a field of study they want to do. And I want to be on the space station where, oh no, the overly large lobster
I was gonna
got
say,
loose.
this is a movie waiting to happen, and I want to see it.
Right?
Season 15, when we go back to space, giant lobster arc, definitely.
Willem Dafoe is the scientist who lets the lobster out.
All right, yeah, Quinn, tell me how you use this bomb non-lethally to get rid of the sea pig and to draw over the bad posse.
Yeah, so Reaper hands this satchel off to Mr. Butt Whiskers, and they're gonna grab it, and they're like, maybe they have no idea what's happening. They're just like, oh, this is the remains. Well, where are they? And then Reaper somersaults forward, and then tosses a shuriken behind herself, and it lands right in the satchel, and then triggers the explosion. And this person is do you remember Breaking Bad when
yes.
what's his name leaves the hospital? It's like that. Half of this body is just gone.
Yeah,
Wow.
Hector Salamanca is the guy who blows up the
I'm gonna try
Gus
to be,
Fring.
Yeah, I was trying to be coy about it in case it's spoilers. There's some person's like, time for my Breaking Bad and Dice Funk double watch.
I'm gonna watch Salute. I'm gonna watch Salute. I hope nothing bad happens in this one.
Yeah. And then as soon as that happens, as soon as this bomb goes off and attention is drawn to it, Reaper is shooting off towards the church.
All right, so we fired the Chekhov's gun of the explosive powder from the crab arc going off. And I will say that cuts us over to Boyce and Barbella, who are awoken by the sound of an underwater explosion, like a deep sea mine shaking the house you suddenly find yourself in. You two wake up in rough cots. In some kind of structure, and you can kind of look around, and you're floating. I'm trying to think of how beds would work underwater. They're probably not the same, right? It's just probably a kind of more like an alcove you'd be in. That's lined with cushiony materials rather than a bed. But feel free.
I mean, you could just have a weighted blanket, have something that's denser than water to sort of hold you
There's
down.
weighted blankets. There's also strap mechanisms. Think of the ways that you sleep in a bed in space. Same principle.
I suppose.
So most beddings, I would suspect, are actually mounted on the wall or ceiling. That way it leaves the floor open for activities. So it's important to remember that there's usually some degree of suspension involved because it just looks cool. We can get away with it, Also, you don't have to worry about falling out of bed and hurting yourself. You sink and then you wake up on the floor. Who cares? I did not overthink this, Austin.
All right, you two wake up in an unfamiliar room. You've never been here before. You don't recognize it. You look over, you see each other.
I was just saying, what is the decor like? How can I judge the quality?
Yeah, I mean, I think you should roll something to get a sense of your situation as quickly as possible. I guess perception as well.
With exhaustion still applying.
Yeah.
Perception.
Well, that's a double botch for Boyce. So Boyce is unaware here.
Oh fuck! 12 for Barbella.
Yeah, a botch and then a botch. That's a wild disadvantage roll. I've never seen that, I don't think. So definitely not good. I think you sit up too fast and you hit your head in the strange bed arrangement. So you're just going to take 2 damage. There are worse botches. But
yeah, I'll take a double botch on a perception check for sure.
Yeah, so you're startled. There's an explosion. The windows rattled. You two are looking around. I'll say with the 12, Barbella, this is a pretty simple room you're in. It just looks like it has the bare necessities to live. It's like a worker's quarter.
Yeah.
So because of that explosion, stuff's going to start happening. If you want to do something, you got to act quickly. You can still talk. I'm just saying this is the soundtrack's bum ba bum ba bum ba bum ba bum ba bum.
Yeah. Very very quickly, Barbella is looking for 2 things in this room. Where is our other traveling companion? And where are our weapons? Do we have our weapons, or have they been removed from us?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would say you don't even need to roll for that. You look around, you find your weapons and supplies. In fact, you find them better than you left them. Your spear, Barbella, has been sharpened and improved. It is now an additional +1. Someone someone was working on it while you were unconscious. And Boyce, you find some papers and maybe a whole other kind of spellcasting thing thrown in with yours. I don't know what it is. You can help me work on it, but your spellcasting focus has been improved +1.
Well, perception didn't do much for Boyce. They are going to be looking to see where is Gaudy nearby as well, or
I believe you can summon your familiar at will, basically.
More or less. Then yeah. So it's like I guess what Boyce would do is sort of a combination of sending Gaudy out one side and sending out the manifested mind out like the other, like the entrance to the thing we're in, to basically sort of like peer out through those entities to see what's immediately outside. Is what I would kind of say. And try to figure out like if he can discern what the source of the explosion that we just heard is.
Yeah, so your awakened mind ability, you use this to avoid that jellyfish ambush. Basically, you can see from its perspective.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, so yeah, I will give you then, with it scouting ahead, what you see is a farmland. You see the krill farm, you see the mussels and clams in the bed that you snuck past the other episode. You see cowboys working on a ranch. You've been here. This is literally the place you snuck through on the way to the last well.
Oh, that place where they said if they found us, they were gonna, like, fucking kill us if we tried stepping on their land.
That was the one. That exact one.
Yeah, Barbella's gonna get out of this bed, grab a weapon, and run outside, with the explicit aim of trying to flag down someone from the farm.
All right, yeah, that's exactly what I was curious if you were going to do, try to stealth it. But if you just draw attention to yourself,
yeah, no.
Yeah, Lucius.
I think the fact they've been fixing up my weapon, I think, is a good sign. We get their attention.
Yep, Lucius, the blue dragon slug person. I'm putting this icon again. This is a kind of sea slug that looks weirdly like a dragon, but they're slightly anthropomorphic. I actually Googled like blue dragon sea slug, and they're all weirdly sexy. I don't know. I don't know why that is.
It's because you use the word anthro, and therefore they'll make it sexy.
Is that a sexy word?
Furry artists?
Yeah. It's a word that, a lot of furry artists use that for, like, it's gonna be sexy.
Okay, I didn't realize that. But this guy is not particularly erotic. He's actually, like, very rough kind of character, a horny-handed son of the land, as they say.
Wow, there is a lot of horny fan art in this album.
Isn't that weird? I did not know that was gonna happen. I just thought this was a cool guy. He sees you and immediately kind of turns his horse in your direction, his hippocamp, and comes riding over and says, "I didn't expect you to be awake yet. Well, what do you do when y'all burned half the fuck up?"
Yeah, hi. Thank you, whoever fixed up my weapon. Thank you, whoever looked after us. The town is getting attacked, and we were doing our best to get back there, but we are absolutely on death's door. I know you have no reason to help us, but is there any chance you could rustle up some people to come help us? Because there is an attack happening back in town.
Yeah, Lucius kind of looks down and you spits. How do you spit underwater? Fuck me. I guess that just floats away. I was going for like at your feet. I hate the ocean.
You've just got to really project.
Yeah, exactly. With sufficient force, one can show their indignation that way.
Yeah, slightly disdainful, but he says, under normal circumstances, I would have let you float away, had the sharks pick at your bones, but I'm curious how you got out where you got out. I said you couldn't cut through our land. It doesn't seem possible, so I'd like some answers, and then maybe we can talk about whatever you jaw on about.
Okay, do you want, like, the actual honest truth where we just, like, tell you what the flaws in your defenses were? Because we can do that.
I think that'd be mighty fine.
Cool. I just rolled on the floor and covered myself in mud and then commando crawled.
Yeah,
And apparently that was pretty effective. And then when I got to the downhill bit, I just kind of sideways rolled like a log rolling down a hill.
Ah.
I just stayed low. What about what did the others do? I don't remember what the others did.
I would say Boyce kind of like moseys on out at this point and is able to kind of be part of the conversation. And Boyce will say, it seems to me that... So my question is, did you detect any magic happening at any point after our conversation?
Nah, I ain't much for magic except for this. And just like spins the wand like a gun.
See. So yeah, we have this much square acreage to be mindful of, this amount of cubic column of water to be mindful of. Line of sight is king, and the queen are extra lines of sight being created by means of arcane eyes and other sort of means of detecting things. So if there are some blind spots that we might have exploited to get through, that might have been what happened then.
I mean, we also did a magic spell that's basically like turn your sneaky meter up to 11. So like even a fucking dumb plan like mine of cover myself in mud and roll works a lot better when you've done the like don't be suspicious spell.
Saints alive, I didn't expect the honesty. Appreciate that, Muscles. That'll go over nice.
Well, there's not much time to be deceptive right now. There's town being burned, and we're not in the best of shape to go help, as you saw from us passing out on the way.
Well, I appreciate that. I don't want Zolfo to go away. We rely on it for some things, so that is against my interest, but it sounds like you're asking a favor, and those do not come cheap.
What would you want in exchange for a favor?
I think you just owe my employer something we could call on later.
Who's your employer?
You don't need to know that. You see,
I feel like I do.
You see the pin on his lapel. It's the
Oh,
banana.
it's the fucking banana boys. Oh,
Yeah. We just need to be able to call on you if we got some business that needs doing.
Some banana business that need doing
Yeah, some banana business for some bozos.
for some boys.
And I take it that, yeah, and I'm pretty sure that giving y'all the slip would be detrimental to sustained well-being. So,
okay. The others don't get involved. I will agree to owe you a favor.
All that matters to my boss is that the favor gets done. You can bring your auntie, you can bring your uncle, I don't care.
I don't think there's time to do anything else. Boys, we doing this?
much as it pains for us to be making a negotiation on these sort of terms, we are definitely operating. We are not playing with house's money at this time, and we are very much beggars in this situation, and not many choices. That being said, if when it comes to bringing family along for things, I will not necessarily suggest bringing the K-Pars along for this. They may not be favorable to any propositions involving the Banana Boys.
They teach you to talk at architect school? Seems like you do a lot of it. Seems tiring.
I mean, look, right now, I don't think we've got much other choice. Get the cattle and come riding, I guess.
Lucius holds out a hand to you, Barbella, to shake, and says, "It looks like you bogged down in banana business, buddy."
Looks like it. And Barbella shakes.
When you shake Lucius's hand, it tingles.
Yeah.
And it lightly burns. Not enough to take damage, but noticeably and curiously is what I'll say.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume this is like a magical contract. Like I'm tied into this now.
Do you want to roll insight?
It's my second burn. It's my second burn of the day. Sure. I'll roll insight. I'm not particularly insightful, but we'll see. 19.
19 is incredible. I will say he smiles at you in a way, just a little saucy. You know how some guys crush your hand when they shake it, just for whatever masculinity reasons? Blue dragons are venomous. So what that is not a magical binding. He's just letting you know he's poison. He can poison at a touch, which is just a true thing about these slugs.
Yeah, cool. Barbella looks back and goes, "That's fun. I've been through worse today. Come on."
I like you. Porter, come on over. And you see Lucius summons another slug person. Nudibranches are the kind of slugs these are, and I'm thinking about in universe people just called them nudes because nudibranch. I think this is the funniest shorthand for it. But here is what this person looks like, and another one of my favorite creatures. I love the ocean.
Aww.
I hated the ocean a second ago. I love the ocean now.
The ocean's great. I've seen these things before. They're just sea bunny rabbits.
Yep, these are called sea bunnies. Looks nothing like the blue dragon at first glance, but they're both nudibranches. They're just different kind of creature.
Yeah, it's just a fluffy white cylinder with little black ears.
Was the name?
It's just a little bunny.
Was the name Porter, by the way? Like a beer?
Yep. Yep.
I'm taking notes. I want to have character names right.
Yeah. Yep. She rides over on the seahorse, the hippocamp, and brings a couple over and says, "Oh, hey, spear lady. I hope you like. I sharpened it and I reinforced the handle. I'm kind of the quartermaster around here. Boys always need boots and whips and guns."
I do appreciate it. I did lose a really cool anchor today, so my remaining big hitty thing being a bit cooler does take some of the sting out of that.
Oh, shucks. I'm sorry. That seems heavy, though. Are you feeling lighter?
Well, yeah, but the anchor was cool. It was aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
I looked very cool with it, like, swung over my shoulder.
Oh, yeah? That does sound good.
It was good for weight training. I could do little bench presses when everyone was getting boring with big words.
I don't know if Lucius told you, but your friend, Allison, with the basket star hair, she went with one of my other friends. That they're out, getting some food, so they won't be back. And your bubble guy's in the closet. We just pushed him into the kind of the scullery. He's just floating.
Okay, cool. I should probably take the bubble guy with us, but let's get rolling.
Yeah. I mean, the bubble guy is just gonna cool. He's just gonna stay here for now. He's gonna be like the whole next arc. So this arc, you didn't really get to meet him, but he'll be around.
That's fair. I just didn't want this to be a bargaining chip of now we gotta make a deal to get the bubble guy back.
Yeah, he'll be fine. I will say, if you had busted him out, he would have been very disoriented and attacked you. So that's what I guess I can reveal that now that it's not an issue anymore. That's what that would have happened there.
I see.
It doesn't make sense because of the scale of creatures, but a thing I was fascinated with doing research for this season is there's a kind of isopod, which is what this kind of thing is. Does the most fucked up shit I've ever heard of. Their life cycle is they swim into a fish's mouth, they sever their tongue, and then they latch onto the stump and become the fish's tongue.
Yeah.
Oh, I know these fucking things.
Oh,
they're,
yes.
Some parasites.
Yeah, they're the ones that look like a big woodlouse.
It's the worst.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out a way to incorporate that behavior, but I wanted him to be literally bloodthirsty. So I'm glad you didn't pop the bubble.
Isn't there one in How Fish is Made? If I'm not mistaken, in that game. I'll say there is a point where there's a fish with its tongue missing and there's like something in its mouth. Like, oh, that's an isopod. Okay, yeah.
There's also a horror movie called The Bay about those that start infecting humans, which isn't a real thing, but it's a good idea for a horror movie. Anyway, you are all going to ride into town. Boyce, Barbella, and two of the cow folk from the ranch, two nudibranches. So you're going to arrive after this explosion. We're cutting back to Reaper. Reaper, where do you go?
Reaper is heading straight to the Church of the Rattlesnake.
Oh, interesting. So I gave you 33.3 repeating on where to go. And you guessed where the most exciting stuff is happening. So, moving some icons, I get to introduce you to a character.
That's a jellyfish of some kind, a bad one.
That's a man of war?
Laura's got it. It is a Manowar.
Yeah.
Or a blue bottle. Looks like a jellyfish, not even slightly related to one, and frustratingly. In fact,
Is it
that
this, like the deadliest creature? Or something like that?
So it's profoundly venomous, and you'll notice it is bright blue, why it's called the blue bottle. It has a big bulbous head and then these trailing tentacles that, yes, look exactly like jellyfish. It's very frustrating. They aren't jellyfish, but they are actually colonial organisms. So when you see a single blue bottle, that is actually several genetically identical animals working together as one. I'm sorry about fucking Yahweh and his antics on our planet, whatever he did to us to make us have to learn this stuff. But why I'm so fascinated by these creatures in this particular context, because I didn't know if Lucius was going to come. Can I get a nature roll from you? I should say, there's not just a single blue bottle floating in this room. It is a Medusa person. You know, the way the jellyfish people you've been meeting this arc have like stingers for hair, you know?
Mm-hmm. I got a 3.
Oof, okay.
Disadvantage.
Okay, so with a 3...
Reaper doesn't really know a lot about nature. She's only really interested in stuff is strong or is not strong.
Yeah. I mean, the problem with these, you gotta be careful, is like their stings can like still be stinging weeks after you got stung. They're real fucking painful. Don't fuck with them.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think with even this 3 roll, I'll say Reaper in character, you have no idea. You probably just think this guy is a jellyfish man or something, which is fine. Out of character, I think we're all realizing extremely dangerous. But yeah, this is a merfolk, so it's like a humanoid man, but his hair is blue and has these long tendrils like stingers. It's very much like Allison and the Queen's Guard you met earlier. So he is here. And Bishop Bittercreek is here in the church. There's all these statues of the Riddlefish. It seems like they're in a heated argument. You just kind of bust in, and it's just the 3 of you in here. And the bishop turns to you, Reaper, and says, "Oh no, where's Barbella?"
Is that the way you greet the person who solved the Riddlefish's last riddle?
What do you mean, last riddle? Did you kill the Riddlefish? Reaper, I'm going to fucking end you.
Well, it hasn't had the chance to do another riddle yet, so yes, that is its last riddle.
Oh my god. You fucking orca piece of shit. The bishop's hands are like flaring with sacred flame, like he was about to attack you. And the blue bottle man looks between the 2 of you and says, "Am I interrupting or should I go? I was in the middle. This was kind of a tense fight. Hello. What was your name?"
I'm sorry, this is going to be a bit of a complex argument. My name is XX Black Ebon Reaper XX. What's your name? Is it equally as cool? I doubt it.
I'm Seneschal Kilpatrick.
That's a cool name, though. I'm not gonna lie, Kilpatrick. It's not bad. 2 L's?
Oh, just 1. Is that okay?
No, never mind. It's fine, I guess.
Oh, do you like Seneschal? It's my title.
No, I don't get it. What is it like, mean you have a lot of sand, or?
Oh, it's like an administrative leader, but I'm not a king, because my sister was the queen, and then I took over, but I didn't want to be the king. He's explaining his political vision to you as you walk up, or swim up, and you notice he's pretty young for apparently the king who usurped the queen that this whole arc has been about. Like in human years, like maybe 14 or something. I don't know how you feel about that, but it's like a little guy.
Yeah, I mean, Reaper, I think, is just gonna kind of like swim up and like start connecting a couple dots. And it's very funny that she's connecting dots. This person literally just said, I'm I'm the sibling to the dead queen, basically. But she's like starting to figure out, she's like, oh, you're the prince who tried to take over.
Oh, I mean, I didn't try. I did. I took over, but not for myself. Monarchy's bad, and my sister was kind of an authoritarian, and I gave the coral reef to everybody, and we share it now.
Interesting. Can I talk to you for a sec, Bittercreek? Just over off here to the side.
Bishop Bittercreek and Seneschal Kilpatrick give each other a weird look because they were in the middle of a heated argument when you just rolled in. And the the blue
Reaper
bottle
could not care less about their argument. In her mind, she's like, I have to talk about more important things.
That's hilarious. Yeah. Seneschal Kilpatrick shrugs and steps to the side, and you pull Bishop Bittercreek, who is a leafy sea dragon Kuatoa, I will remind the audience, who says, "Wow, that was quite a performance there, Reaper. You really took charge of that situation."
Yes, I'm very awesome. I also brought back Alfredo, just so you know. I'm very, very skilled.
Okay, is Barbella okay? Are you doing a riddle now? Am I supposed to solve for where Barbella is?
No. Barbella and Boyce were tired, so they needed to take a break, but it sounds like the town was being attacked, so I swam forward. I also just blew up a person. Did I tell you I'm awesome yet? I'm doing very amazing things, and I feel like you're not reacting to them.
Yeah, you mentioned that, and I heard the sound outside. I thought it was... Well, there's like two groups of people fighting in Zulfo. There's the Queen's, resistance fighters from the old government, and then there's this boy's revolutionaries. We're in some trouble here. They want the body, and they're not gonna leave until we give it to them.
Oh, well, we don't have the body here. I believe Addison has that body part.
So this is a good question. I think before Allison went with you back there, you all made sure she left the stuff behind so she wouldn't try to double cross you. Is I believe how we talked about that?
Yes. So at one point, Barbella had both of the body parts. Then Reaper insisted on taking, I believe, just the one we were gonna do because Reaper was like, I'm the fastest, I can put it in the hole. Which I think means Barbella still has the Queen's body part.
Wonderful. Yeah, it's a long urchin spine. So all the people,
Yeah.
all the people from this coral community are like merfolk animal hybrids, if you'll recall. The Queen was an urchin. So yeah, I think that's where it is with Barbella. So that's interesting. The bishop says to you, Reaper, I don't know if we can defend ourselves if an army comes to take stuff from us, and I also don't know what we do about conflicting claims on body parts. We have to start making some policy. I really wish Barbella was here.
Okay, well, I'm here, and I'm awesome, so I wish you wouldn't talk about how you wish someone else was here instead. Not really the point. If Prince Boy over there, or Seneschal, is all about trying to negotiate this, then who's outside attacking the town?
The bishop says, well, he brought his posse, and the Queen has her posse, and they're fighting because they want the body part too. So if the Queen gets brought back, she can, retake over the government. It's called a counter coup. So that's what they're fighting over.
So they're both fighting each other inside of our town.
Yes, our town controls who gets brought back to life. We also literally have the body part now. So this is, hey, Reaper, this is what it's like to control resurrection.
Let's talk to the prince guy over here. And Reaper's going to swim back over to Kilpatrick and be like, hey, can you tell your people to just, chill for a minute?
Oh, I mean, I could, but... there's this thing called leverage. I learned about this in Prince School. And so if you want something, you should try to have as much of it as possible. And right now, all my people are getting it outside. So I don't think I should.
Okay, but if you don't, then I'm going to have to fight everybody.
Oh, by yourself? We outnumber you. And I'm very, very venomous.
Yes, but I'm also very powerful. So what do you think about that?
Oh, I mean, I think it sounds pretty exciting. I
just blew up a person. Did you hear that explosion? That was me.
Yeah, I mean, and I was all state at Coral Reef Murder, so...
Wait, you have competitive murder at your school?
I see. You think the crime murder. No, it's a sport.
Oh. All right, well, tell your people to stop and everything will be good.
I think you're going to have to roll something, buddy.
Reaper is going to say, look, I'm very powerful. I don't know if you heard that entire conversation. I blew up a person. I brought someone back, and I solved the Riddlefish's strongest riddle. So I'm very powerful, and it would be in your best interest to just acquiesce to everything I want because I'm so powerful. And I am going to roll an intimidation.
All right, here we go. Intimidate this child.
6.
That is not going to do it even a little bit. And Seneschal Kilpatrick kind of turns to Bishop Bittercreek and says, does this lady speak for you? And the bishop looks to you, Reaper, like, oh God, what are you doing? And Kilpatrick lashes Bishop Bittercreek with venomous stingers. I'm going to keep these rolls to myself. Let's just say the bishop leaps back, very, very obviously in terrible pain from the poisonous sting.
You can't do that, buddy. All right. So this is going to be crit 13 and 18 against Kilpatrick.
Oh, you're going sicko mode?
Yeah, if he just attacked Bitter Creek, then he's fucking going down. There's not a conversation
You're attacking a child royal. Okay, cool. Diplomatic incidents occurring
He just
real
attacked
fast.
Bitter Creek! I came to this town to save the town!
I know. I love that we sent you back first. I'm so happy.
In
I'm so happy that
everyone's
you're the one
mind,
who's back.
there was a bad group of people attacking the town, and Reaper was going to return and be a hero fighting the bad guys. Instead, it was a diplomatic situation, and she is not equipped for that.
Hell yeah. Roll your damage. 18 and crit hit.
I like the idea. It's like, you may want to state varsity, but welcome to the national championship, motherfucker, and just punch.
It's going to be 25 damage, and then they need to make me a Constitution saving throw.
11.
They are stunned.
All right, I'm going to use one of my legendary resistances to avoid that because that is not good. You said 25 damage. That means you're going to take 12 as the stinging cells in the Seneschal explode into your skin every time you attack in melee. These are venomous nematocysts, capable of killing a human being in real life. All right, and let's roll initiative when we get back, because let's cut over to the party who's rushing onto the scene, horseback, kind of a big action set piece of the heroes riding in on your hippocampi.
Barbella is going into this assuming, as she'd sort of predicted before, that this is the people who wanted to bring the queen back. So I think Barbella is very specifically like that's what she's got her eyes open for. She's looking for anyone that fits the bill of, oh, you're here for that. That's like dressed in similar faction clothing or anything like that to jump right into the fray with.
Yeah, I will say as you approach, there are two groups. There's the sea pigs who work for the Seneschal, and then there's the jellyfish who work for the queen. And they're just, shooting at each other with wands in the middle of the street, ducking through the saloon door at the gig and, firing through the windows. There's, people ducking behind the school. There's, there's crabs. The Cape Hearts are running everywhere like, golly gee, we got a good old-fashioned shootout at high noon.
Okay, people we've made a new deal with. You seem like you are in considerably healthier status than us right now for picking a fight, right?
Lucius tips his hat and says, I might be in fighting fit. What about it?
Cool. I am considerably less in fighting fit. Can you deal with, picking a fight with all of this that's going on? I'm gonna get to the church.
Y'all want me to risk my life fighting some people I don't know for you?
You wanted me to agree to a deal I don't know what I'm getting in for. I think it's fair.
Yeah, the deal got you here. I'm curious if he's just going to fight your enemies for you. I'm usually hesitant to have the NPCs fight the NPCs, but let's do something here. What do you think you can roll besides just persuasion again?
Look, I've signed up for whatever it is that you are making me sign up for without knowing what I'm getting in for. You know as well as I do that I'm getting the raw end of the stick on this. So are you gonna fight or am I gonna make you?
All right. Intimidation.
20.
Holy fuck. All right. Yeah, 20 is really good. I think Lucius nods to Porter, the sea bunny, and they just like slide off the back of the hippocampi, spin their wands, and just start mowing people down in the street. I think you've unleashed a three-sided gang war in Zolfo now.
Wonderful. And with this, Barbella is just gonna try and make it to the church because she is still convinced that is the heart of this problem at the second.
All right. Boyce will interject and say, Barbella, do you want me to come with you, or do you want me to scout out elsewhere in the town to see if I either can find Reaper or something, you know?
Entirely up to you. I probably, maybe splitting up's for the best. I don't know. I'm following my gut, and my gut always says, when in doubt, go to church.
Wow, Barbella's from Mississippi. I didn't realize.
Look, when you don't know the answer to a deep-rooted question in your life, and it's very important, church is where you're supposed to find the answer, allegedly.
I guess the question then comes, do I split the party or just go and rejoin everyone at the hoedown at the church here?
Yeah, I mean, the big thing I established at the beginning of the episode is that Barbella and Boyce are beat to shit and low on supplies. So splitting the party is a real decision you can make. I just don't want you to be sad if your beat to shit character gets finished off.
Like I like to imagine like Boyce like unsaddling and trying to like get off of their hippocampus and just like falling face first on the seabed. It's just like, all right, that decided. Hold up, Barbell, I'm coming with you. I am well out of my element here. And then they just climb back up and then ride along to follow Barbell along. I just like the idea of like, I'm going to help save the town. Nope, I'm totally unequipped for this. See you later.
Can I get animal handling from both of you? So you're kind of doing cool cowboy shit. The whole first arc was cowboy stuff, but it's been a minute. But right now I want to have in the middle of a gunfight. In the middle of town, everyone's on horses, shooting at each other.
3.
Oh no.
3.
I got a 6. Is that good?
No, neither of you are good. I think some bad folks cut you off on their own hippocampi and try to force you down like an alleyway between a couple of buildings that are under construction currently. So there's like people chasing you also on their own hippocampi. So to get to the church, you're going to have to shake these people. In fact, I think it's like there are people from both sides attacking you. Politics, both sides. You didn't see this coming from me.
Cool.
Cool. Do I roll to start swinging?
I don't want to roll out individual combat. This is more like a skill challenge. So if you have an idea of how to get rid of these people.
I would like to use my knowledge of the construction going on here to maybe use acid splash to tactically erode something to cause something to collapse and sort of create a barrier for us to, or at least to impede folks from like being able to corner us.
Absolutely. Is that a save from me?
Well, normally acid splash is a save for the target being attacked. I'm attacking an inanimate object, but we can just apply that save to the people to avoid like getting hit by it for sure. Yeah, that's fine.
No, I mean if there's people, this is like 2 people on horse being chased by 2 other people on horse. You ride through a construction site, and as you go by, you shoot acid onto a girder, which causes like half the roof to fall on them. I'm gonna roll a save representing the girder, which is not. It's very low.
Yes.
So 7. That's not going to do it.
That's not going to beat the DC of 16, so no.
All right. Paint me the picture of you bringing down the house, taking out one of your pursuers.
And like Boyce is going through here. It's just like, shucks. I hate to do this. Please don't look, Barbella. And they just look back, flip through the book, point their fingers like in a finger gun gesture at one of the girders that has was installed just 2 days ago. It looked beautiful, but it erodes away, and then just like the whole structure collapses and almost makes like a crude wall in between Boyce, Barbella, and the pursuers as they keep moving forward.
Yeah, one of the hippocampi like jumps through the rubble, like between two beams as they come down. So you still have one pursuer, but the other one gets pinned and is lost behind. I will add, Boyce, you had someone put something in your belongings that they thought maybe you could use. Now is like a time because you're pulling it out to cast acid. Now you were at the ranch. Maybe this was like some kind of the equivalent of a farmer's almanac, but like in a
Right.
shell carving.
Exactly. Right. So what it contains is sort of two principal elements there. The first section is logistics for how the krill farm is run and how people are supplied and kitted. And the other side is the almanac portion, which basically does generalized tide forecasting, basically the information you would have about like how sea life operates in the area. So it's almost like a very nature forward thing, which is very different than what Boyce's normal information set is, but it's still highly informative for the local fauna of the area, as well as their temperament and how they handle the different ways of the tides during the course of a year.
All right. So actually, the person who's chasing you, the one remaining rider in this area, is a huge jellyfish Medusa lady, probably one of the Queen's Guard you already fought earlier. And she's going to rip 2 shots from a wand at you two. Dexterity saving throw.
How about a 12?
18.
12 misses, 18 hits. So, Boyce, you're going to take 9 damage. You get shot in the back.
That's how that's supposed to go. That's not how that's supposed to work at all.
Okay, Barbella's gonna try and slow down just long enough to be in crab leg swinging range of this other pursuer.
You Akira slide your horse?
That wasn't the plan. The plan is try and get one hit with the crab leg to make contact in order to use my ocean blast to knock the rider 10 feet away off of the mount they're riding.
All right, try it.
Let's go for a crab hit. 16.
That hits.
Cool. A big burst of ocean wave pushes them 10 feet away from the thing they were riding, and hopefully means we now have no pursuers.
You made physical contact with the jellyfish lady. Big golden Nomura's jellyfish bell. Rolled your damage on yourself because you just got stinged horribly.
I hit it with the other end of a long crab leg. That's far away from me.
I know. I'm sorry.
Okay,
that's just what they do.
Okay, how much damage am I taking?
It's your weapon damage. I'm gonna put a picture of this lady. This is a Nomura's jellyfish, named after Tetsuya Nomura, the famous video game designer. JK, not really. Look at him.
7 damage.
All right, you still up?
I'm still up.
All right.
Took less damage than me, so.
You get stung a bunch, Barbella, but you knock them away, and then you use your paladin powers to blast them with a wave off their hippocamp. Can I actually get animal handling to scare it away so they don't just get back on it?
Sure, let's try. 14.
That's enough. Yeah, what do you do?
I point in a direction and shout carrots that way, and hope that distracts them, gets them to run off.
What? Is there such a thing as a sea carrot? That sounds like a thing that would exist, because the world is a fucking joke. Sea carrots are real. Right. God damn it. Mm-hmm. That's a thing. What the fuck?
Yeah, there we go. Cool.
I hate this
I
fucking
take a random
planet.
guess at the ocean.
This seems like, are we living in fucking Star Wars world where there's just like versions of everything on every planet that are themed to it?
When we make jokes about Schmorida, it's really not that far off of reality.
Yep. You see in the distance slug cowfolk that you left behind. Porter the sea bunny and Lucius the blue dragon are fucking annihilating those people. They're spinning their guns, doing trick shots. Lucius is just blowing them like clean up into shreds. Seems like pretty dangerous people to cross.
Yeah.
They're banana boys who have been lurking in the background of this campaign. I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah.
Last thing you see is you ride off to the church. Two people corner Lucius, and he just like spins his wand like a fucking Overwatch ult or something, and both people's heads explode.
That is a problem for the future, but in this moment, this was the right call. Whether the consequences are a problem later, that's irrelevant. I do not think this was going to work otherwise.
Before backup arrives, Reaper, let's roll initiative between you and Seneschal Kilpatrick.
19.
Oh, that's not good. 9. All right. The little boy tries to square up with you, and you're just so fast.
Okay. So Reaper is going to say, like, why did you attack Bitter Creek?
What? He's trying to destroy our government and give our whole people to a tyrant.
I don't think anyone's done anything like that yet.
The bishop pulling himself up, arm bleeding from the sting, and says, I mean, in a sense, yes. What? It is our duty to revive the dead. We're not here to pass judgment and just decide geopolitics. So yeah, I'm going to bring back the queen when it's her turn in line.
Well, there we go. Is there darkness around us at all?
Oh, Lord. I mean, just statistically, there has to be. That's how light sources work. Yeah.
I mean, surely there is, because it's a dark day in the town right now with all this fighting going on.
Oh, yeah. Thematically, there is. I'm going to use a bonus action to teleport through the darkness to surprise this kid from a different angle. And my first melee attack after doing that gets advantage. So 20 and then 23.
Wow, the 20 would have been a 12, so that perfectly worked, too. That's so exciting. Yeah, you were just doing Toto stuff, attacking from every angle. I just watched Jujutsu Kaisen, I'm sorry.
And then that is going to be 13 damage, and then I'm going to spend another key point to make them to do a stunning strike. So it'll be another saving
Constitution save. All right. Crit, so yes, that saves, and you also take 6 damage from the defensive stings.
Yes, I will also, hold on, just putting that in there. Okay, yeah, that's my turn.
All right, Kilpatrick is going to try to wrap his extremely deadly tendrils around you. This is just going to be a strength contest as the prehensile hair just tries to wrap around your whole body. That's 7. That's a terrible roll. Little boy, tiny boy.
12.
Yeah, you win. You're able to dodge out of the way, fight them off. I need you to make a dexterity save to not take any damage at all.
13.
With a 13, yeah, you save, you don't take any damage, and in the distance you can hear the approach of Hippocampi. Out of character, you know it's Boyce and Barbella. In character, you don't know what's going to happen. So, do you continue fighting?
Listen, kid, I don't want to kill you, okay? I just want you to not attack our people. The people who live here, not my people. I have no affiliation. They all suck, actually. But I know people who live here.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like you have a nice town, and you all are helping each other. It was very sweet that you defended this old man. I love that for you. If you just give us the queen's body, we'll go. That's it. We can be friends.
But you know we can't do that because it's important to their religion. And she's gonna point to Bitter Creek when she says that.
Yeah, Bitter Creek says, I mean, there's no precedent for multiple people laying ownership over a body. Normally people bring a body part here and say, help bring my friend back, bring my family member back. We've never had two people both say they want different things, and who has to decide? This is a new question for us.
So see, Small child, we have to talk this out before we can figure out how to do it, and it relies on people smarter than us. Except me. I'm very intelligent. I just don't care.
All right, Boyce and Barbella, do you just burst into the church?
Yeah. So upon bursting in, is it going to be immediately apparent who this is in the church?
I will say Allison told you some stuff about the political situation. She never outright said the usurper is a blue bottle man. So I don't know. I mean, you could probably use context clues if you think it's more interesting to know that, but you don't know that because you were told.
Okay. No, okay. In that case, if you're happy for this to be something that can be contextually workoutable, I think I know how Barbella's going to respond to this situation. Is she's going to run into the room and open her laminated book of riddles.
Oh no, Laura.
And go, you. One night, a king and a queen walked into an empty castle. The next day, the king, the queen, and someone else walked out. Who walked out with the king and queen?
Oh boy, the little blue bottle prince looks at you, this hulking fish woman, half your body's fucking burned off. You're holding a huge spear made out of crab leg. You say some truly bizarre stuff, and he just says, "What? I don't know. Who are you?" And here's what I want to say. Because I didn't know this was going to happen. I thought we were about to have a conversation about the ethics of owning body parts and what to do about, this whole operation we have, kind of a moral quandary. Instead, he fails the first of your riddles 3, and one of the statues in the church moves.
Oh.
I didn't know you were going to do this to me, Laura.
Oh, that's fucking interesting. No, I was going on the route of trying to talk about the moral philosophical situation of this body part. I fucking found a riddle that is a good starting point for a discussion of this moral quandary, but we'll deal with that in a second, I guess. Barbella repeats the riddle. She says, one night, a king, a queen, and a queen walked into an empty castle. The next day, the king and the queen left, and someone else walked out. Who walked out with the king and queen? It was the knight. One night, a king and a queen walked into an empty castle. Sometimes you get so fixated on the royalty, you stop thinking about the everyday average person. I think you need to stop and take a look at what's happening around what you have brought to this town and realize you are overlooking the average person. You are causing so much chaos because you are too fixated on, your squabbles of royalty.
Okay, so we talked before about there's a number of statues in here that depict the riddle fish. Some were more like an eel, some were more like a worm, some were more like a terrestrial snake. One of them, it moved when you first said the riddle. Now that you've revealed the answer and he has failed, it actually kind of lifts up off of the pedestal and starts swimming around in here as if it was alive. Just there's several more statues. I'm just saying it's not doing anything. It's just swimming around. And the prince says, the seneschal by his own accounting says, "Okay, that was clever. But it's my sister's body. I know the Queen's Guard were her employees, but she's my family. I get to decide what happens to her body. It can't be whoever gets first dibs."
No, I agree, but you know what else can't happen? You can't turn our town into a goddamn war zone because before you've even arrived here, we were trying to get our job done and do a religious ritual to bring someone back who had waited their turn. People from your town were coming trying to basically attack us and take over that ritual without before waiting their turn. There's so many problems we have to deal with right here and right now about, seemingly your community's desire to just jump the queue and decide that you're more important. I don't honestly care which of you takes the body part back. You, as a collective, need to stop fighting in the middle of our town and sort out amongst yourselves, whether you're going to respect the process before we deal with who we give the body part back to.
Okay, we'll respect the process. Give us the queen's body, and we will be your ally. We'll sign a treaty. Zolfo and the coral reef, best friends forever. Let's do it right now. Do any of you have the authority to do that?
No one tells me what to do. I want to roll an insight on this kid.
Yeah.
8.
Yeah, it's not very good. I would say you don't really understand all the politics of it, but it seems pretty clear. There's two sides. There's the queen and his brother. The queen is dead. If the queen comes back, she'll probably kill him. So this is something Stranger said in Dry Side. Picking who lives is also picking who dies.
Excuse my interjection here, but I think part of this whole matter also comes from the standpoint that there didn't seem to be much of like a plan about what happens when it came to transfer of power or how things were going to run in case something unexpected happens. So whether it's you going forward or your sister, it seems clear to me that there needs to be at least some way to maintain stability through these tumultuous times,
Yeah, no, we're revolutionaries. She was a monarch. We overthrew her, and now we have an anarchist collective. So that's why I'm not the king. We're actually we're doing a different kind of community outside of the original plan.
What crimes did your queen commit? If she must stay dead forever, she must have done something pretty bad, right?
Yeah, monarchs have absolute authority. So people were imprisoned and executed without trial. We didn't have any civil rights. All stuff like that. It was bad.
Are you willing to let someone who worked with the queen speak their thoughts on this matter? Because if not, the only solution I can see is you put your strongest person against their strongest person, and whoever wins gets the body part.
Instead of having a conversation about ethics, you want to have a duel about it?
Or a tournament. Both are equally acceptable to me.
Listen, I in my heart, I'm a tournament arc bitch. If we want to do Yu Yu Hakusho next arc, I'm into it. If that's where we're going.
Barbella's going to turn to Bitter Creek and just go, is there precedent for us down here, someone down here taking the lead and making a choice like this and not leaving it up to the dry team up top?
Oh, so the dry team just determines if the subject is like morally fit to be brought back, not if they have a right to be brought back. What's at stake here is the brother doesn't want her brought back at all, and the Queen's Guard does, and who gets to decide?
Well, yes, this is what I guess I'm saying, is that usually the process is upstairs decides, and then we just kind of do the thing. Are we allowed to... This is our jurisdiction.
Oh, yeah, because Allison agreed to put the queen in the queue. She's not skipping the queue. She'll go through the process. That's not the issue. It's just the issue of who has the legal right over a body part. Is it the closest family member? Is it whoever finds the bone and picks it up? Is it the strongest person who wants it?
Okay. Barbella will then turn to this man of war and go, if we side with you, and presumably you destroy the body part, is there more of the body? Is there anything to stop someone just getting a different part of the body and circumventing our process and bringing her back anyway?
Oh no, my executioner and her husband have destroyed all the body parts except for one. They're my best friends. I hope they're okay.
Yeah, they're great.
Okay, we're going to Chuck E. Cheese after this.
Oh, what the ones that tried? Barbella is going to point to her face and go, "Yeah, this is what they did when we tried to go do our job and revive the person we were trying to revive." Do you see why we are concerned that, like, just picking who to give this body part back to isn't enough to necessarily stop a whole lot of harm happening to people?
Yeah, it seems like a tough decision you have to make, but that's where we're at because
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Can you do anything to reassure us that shit like this is not going to keep happening?
Reaper is going to look to Barbella and just kind of note, like, are you sure your new friend is okay with this idea of destroying the last part of her queen?
Definitely not what she was on board for. We know that much.
oh no, I mean if you destroy the last body part of the queen, Allison is going to hunt you to the ends of the earth. But
Yeah.
if you side with Allison, my assassins will come here every day until all of you are dead. So it's
Look, I'm just gonna put my stamp on the table. I like Allison. I don't want to upset Allison. But genuinely, I'm pretty anti-monarchist, and I'm pretty on board with this plan of not reinstating a monarchy. I've never liked the concept of being just ordained to be in charge, so, like, I'm personally on board with this, but also, like, I know that my personal tastes are not the entire decision-making process.
oh, good thing there's 3 of you, so there can't be a tie in this decision.
But isn't the whole thing with the vibe checkers, as Reaper's going to say condescendingly with air quotes, is that they're all like goody two-shoes? If your queen sucks this much, they'll never bring her back anyway.
Oh, I don't know about that, and I can't risk it. So that's the choice.
That's the question. Has the queen been through the vibe check process?
No, it will be several years
Yeah.
before she gets to the front of the queue. He's not going to wait that long. He'll just kill everyone here.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's, I think, what Barbella was trying to get at with that previous question before, was, like, this would be us essentially... We would be circumventing Dry Team's process because they would not have a chance to do the vibe check process. Like, the queen would be being denied the opportunity to be judged as potentially a morally okay person.
So either the queen's remains are destroyed, or she waits in line
Yeah.
for 2 years and goes through the process. She's not skipping the queue.
Yeah.
That was, if you lost the fight to Allison, she would have skipped the queue. That's what the stakes were of that fight you had with her.
Yeah.
But the situation is we either destroy the body part, or Kilpatrick is going to send assassins to this town and try to eliminate us all to prevent, I guess, to just completely destabilize the queue, or just to get revenge. Like, that's the threat that's on the table, is like, you either destroy that last body part or face my wrath, basically. Because he doesn't care about the fact that the queen probably wouldn't actually make it through the vibe check.
Yep. At this point, some people from both sides of the fight outside kind of stumble in, like bleeding out of magic, and they're seeing the situation. You're just getting a crowd; they're not intervening, but just like more people are arriving. I will say, because you can't have this loud argument for this long without drawing some attention.
Yeah. God, there's got to be something in this book that can help me. God, royalty section. I have a crown, but I'm not royalty. I come from flowers, but not from seeds. I'm rough on the outside, but not sandpaper. It's not really a royalty riddle. It's explicitly I have a crown, but I'm not royalty.
Wait.
That's...
One more time, Laura?
I have a crown, but I'm not royalty. I come from flowers and not from seeds. I'm rough on the outside, but I'm not sandpaper.
Oh my god. I don't know.
What?
I'm just gonna do this. This is real time, not editing or anything. I'm just gonna say sunflower.
No, Austin, you're gonna fucking hate me when I tell you the answer to this.
Wonderful.
Pineapple.
Fuck me sideways. A second statue kind of starts moving slowly at first, as if animated by some mystical force. It starts glowing, the scales start shimmering, and now there are 2 statues swimming around in here. And Bishop Bittercreek shoots you. Such a look, Barbella. It's half terror and half awe.
Okay. Okay, I'm guessing this is not a usual... Yeah, this has never happened when Barbella's read riddles in the church before.
No, in fact, religion check, obviously.
Yeah, God damn. How much does Barbella know about her own fucking religion? 13.
Yeah, 13. I will say, you think there's something about 3 riddles. If you do it again, something will happen. With only a 13, I won't tell you exactly what, but I will say this. You will be making a decision because it seems like, here's what it seems like. It seems like Seneschal Kilpatrick not getting your riddles / Austin Yorsky not guessing the answer to your riddles. He is losing the riddles 3, if that makes sense. Like you are beating him without touching him.
Boys, where do you stand on all of this?
Making a threat on us of any sort over this really heavily dissuades me from offering any support towards, what not your kingdom it is anymore, but what your collective is standing for. And on top of that, it feels that, even given how we were trying to do a different job twice, and we had 2 groups of people from your kingdom or your collective come and try to kill us both times, it makes me very uninterested in helping out, So as for whether we should allow the Queen's remains to stay or not, I frankly don't care that much. What I care about is this town that I've been spending a good portion of my life trying to build up not be destroyed, and for the people in it to not be at risk because you all are trying to put out your conflict on our territory.
My sister's people attacked you first. I only came here to try to stop what was going on. I'll be honest, I thought you all were crazy. I thought this was a cult of insane people. I didn't know you could actually raise the dead until Allison fled with the body part. Like we were going to we were going to bury my sister like a normal community of regular people until she ran off, right? And that's when I realized that the talk about the riddle snake was real. So I get my apologies, I guess. I thought this was like a camp of loonies. I mean, looking around, it still seems kind of like a ramshackle camp in the middle of nowhere, but I'm fully respecting that you have the powers you say you do.
Yeah. Okay. Barbella stops and goes, "You've put us in a position where no matter what we decide, someone is going to violently hate us. I don't know how to solve this problem. I'm gonna put my faith in my deity." And Barbella begins to read a 3rd riddle. Name 3 consecutive days without naming any of the 7 days of the week.
Well, the day before Valentine's Day, and the day after Valentine's Day. Does that count?
It's not what I'm looking for.
I think I named 3 consecutive days without naming any of the days of the week.
I think you did. It was yesterday, today, and tomorrow, but fuck, what happens when you get one of the riddles? Fuck, I wanted to know what happened when I stumped you with 3 riddles.
Yeah, I mean, so there's still the 2 circling riddle snakes right now. I will say that there's a crackling energy in the air. Everyone's here now, like the whole group. Like if you looked outside the church, you'd see there's like a crowd fully around.
I mean, not for nothing. Can I just go back to killing the prince? Well, fighting the prince, not killing, necessarily.
I mean, if you do, we're entering a different kind of combat, because everyone's here now. It's not a one-on-one fight.
Barbella's gonna try and throw one more riddle out in that case, because fuck it. I'm full of holes, but strong as steel. What am I?
Full of holes, but strong as steel? Spiderweb?
Nope.
Spatula?
I feel like that's also true by scale, but whatever. No one believes in Spider-Man.
I didn't say I'm full of holes but strong as steel by scale, did I?
I guess not.
Is the answer a spatula?
A chain. It's a chain.
Spatula should also count. Metal spatula?
Why do you think it's stronger than steel? Just emotionally?
Because it's made of steel. A steel spatula.
Okay, here's what's happening. Laura, you are trying to invoke your deity to solve the situation. So, and what you've done here by making Seneschal Kilpatrick fail the Riddles 3 is you can kill him instantly if you would like, if that's what you're doing. I want us all to be on the same page that that's what you're doing, because you're making a choice for the setting, which is that whoever has a body part owns it. Not the closest family member, not who negotiates for it, not the strongest person. That's a decision we're making. So if you agree, the Riddlesnake solves this for you.
Can I use the Riddlesnake's having been summoned as a bargaining chip at this table?
It's not going to get you out of the decision. You still have to side with one or the other.
No, I'm not asking for it to necessarily get us out of the decision. Can it be used for I have summoned a literal deity here. Stop fighting, stop tearing our town apart, let us make this decision not under the threat of violence.
So a third statue comes to life. This is the one that looks like an eel. I mean, it has probably the part of all of the creatures talked about, the dragon-faced pipefish and all that. But there's 3 now circling. They almost make a full ring, like touching toe to tail all around. And the whole, like everyone's, feels the electricity and the warmth in the water. And I think you can say, Barbella, something to the effect that, our community doesn't just have the riddlefish. Our community is the riddlefish, and it's protected by the riddlefish. You can't threaten us. And like a crack in the ground will start to form, like a fissure. Yeah. And like what's going to happen is the riddlefish is going to burst out of the ground and eat Kilpatrick whole in a geyser is what will happen.
I want to note, as like this is happening, like the crackle and everything, there is a moment where Reaper like swims backwards slowly, like arms crossed. She's like, this. I can see where this is going. She's getting away from Kilpatrick.
Boyce will call for Gotti to come back to him and shield Gotti's eyes for what's about to happen.
Look, I think the way Barbella portrays this is that she loudly proclaims, there are arguments to be made on both sides, and this is a decision that will have to be made, but you will not force this decision on us through violence. You cannot come in here and take sacred religious rituals and decide that you're just going to be, violent enough to attack whoever's trying to do a religious ritual to throw your thing into the hole first. You're going to use violence to make it so that we hand over a body part to get killed so that it doesn't get a chance to go through the process to be brought back. That is not a decision where we are going to capitulate to you bringing violence into our town to try and scare us into doing what you want because, otherwise we're going to get chased down by your side. You let us make this decision. This is a decision we have to make. You do not bring the citizens of this town into that process. You do not make their lives forfeit for what we are trying to do here.
Seneschal Kilpatrick says, maybe if I was a king, I would be scared because you were taking away my power, but I'm just part of the community, like a starfish shedding a limb to let the rest of them escape. If you're going to kill me, kill me. And my people will avenge me, and we're going to stop you. This whole place can't be allowed to continue.
I don't want to kill you. I want to protect all of these people who you have decided it's perfectly okay for a war zone to erupt in our town so that you can get what you want.
Yeah, I heard you.
You might not be a king, but right now you are sure acting like one.
Not a king, he's actually part of a council, and then there's like a separate council below.
Yes, but that's my point, is, deciding to make someone else's town a war zone to get what you want, you might have a council behind you. You're still unilaterally making some decisions that impact our town pretty fucking badly.
I'm still on board with the tournament. You have a moment, Kilpatrick, to decide to do the tournament instead.
The one problem with this whole distributed community of yours is that it sounds like what it allows you to do is to mitigate and disregard responsibility over the choices being made, because it's all by committee, so it's no one individual's fault. But all that tells us is that it feels that no matter what we do, there could be enough people sufficiently within your community to threaten us further with action here. Is that the right read of the situation here?
I mean, it sounds like if you side with me, you're going to have to fight a bunch of my sister's people. And if you side with my sister, you're going to have to fight a bunch of my people. There's no...
And why is that our problem? Why is that our whole thing to deal with here?
Because you control the well of resurrection. That's the You think you just get to control life and death with no consequences? No one's ever going to push back on you?
If we do the tournament, no one would have to be hurt outside. It would just be people would enter, and then the strongest gets to decide. just another pro for tournament.
Reaper, did you buy a stock in a big tournament?
She bought the rights for Kumite, and it's eating her out of house and home. She's desperate to get some merchandising for it.
I mean, I think about this a lot in terms of like thinking about religious redemption as someone that like grew up in the church, and you know, I fucking watched The Good Place and was like, I had a lot of feelings about that show because like, yeah, the idea of eternal damnation always kind of struck me wrong, and that there is no ability in a system like that to go. The thing that I like is that idea of being able to posthumously prove some degree of being deserving of a second chance. And that is a hell of a thing to deny someone, to deny them the opportunity to be judged. Like, the opportunity to have their merits weighed and to just go, no, you get opted out of the system of second chances, is a hell of a decision to make.
So your argument is that neither the family nor the like person with the body part gets to decide. The answer is just always yes.
I think the answer is if someone with the body part has gone, we would like to enter the system, I don't think that should be if they want to have that body part vibe check, I don't think that should be overrulable. I think if someone has set them on the path to being assessed for a second chance, I don't think someone should get to go, nope, they are ineligible for a second chance.
So just as like a thought to that, like the idea of like someone, let's say he didn't just die of old age, but died of like, I don't know, hit by a car. Someone decides that like, I think Henry Kissinger was actually a pretty cool dude. And they dig up his body. They have no connection to him, but they're like, I'm gonna put this into the system because I think they should come back. Like that's also on the same. I don't mean this as like a gotcha or anything. I'm very curious because that's what we are putting forward as it's just whoever has it.
Yeah, I don't think that's a gotcha at all, because from what we know of the dry team system, A, there are preliminary checks done to find out whether someone can even enter the queue in the first place that are done.
Yeah.
And second of all, I'm pretty sure if you put, Henry Kissinger into the fucking vibe check, yeah, he's never going to pass the vibe check. Like, there is very little risk in letting someone put Henry Kissinger's body part up for, assessment for the vibe check system, if there are proper checks and balances to vibe check them.
Unless Henry Kissinger cut a deal with a big tree to bring him back in exchange for making the tree the Pope, for example.
But Wet Team don't fucking know this right now, do we?
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think that corruption of the system should be a reason to not attempt to design the system theoretically correctly.
Fair. That's a good thought. I just think it's very interesting because there's always going to be a counter argument. But yeah. If it was an easy question, I wouldn't bother asking it.
No.
So to clarify, though, because I think the votes on the table, from my understanding, is Barbella's like Kilpatrick dies and Reaper's like a tournament. What does Boyce ultimately say?
It's weird because I feel like those two things, Boyce's opinion effectively is like, they're fine with having the Queen's remains going into the queue to determine whether, she's fit to be returned. And whether that has to be decided through a tournament arc or otherwise is fine. But that's just sort of like, he's not in favor of destroying the remains, mostly because it seems that there are at least people that the Queen insisted that if she were to die, she'd like to come back. And so that wish being at least attempted to be honored is more amenable to Boyce's opinions on the matter, to make it clear.
It sounds like it's 2 votes against Kilpatrick, and then Reaper really doesn't care. She just thought a tournament would be cool, so she would also side that way as well.
Barbella is not happy about potentially destabilizing a democracy and reinstating a fucking monarchy, potentially, but that is unfortunately the path that leads to her moral stance on the bigger picture.
All right, it sounds like we have a decision. Pay me the picture of the riddle snake killing Seneschal Kilpatrick. I'll say this is something that's kind of being revealed to the community is you are all pretty dangerous, even though you're a small town. Like, in case you were worried about some, hombres rolling up and being like, the town is mine. You actually have Super Godzilla on your team.
Barbella looks over and simply says, if you are not going to listen to reason and not going to give us any other choice, I'm sorry. And the riddle snake just very quickly starts to emerge. There is barely any time to process what has happened. This thing, despite being as large as it is way faster than it feels like it should be able to move. As it just comes up out the ground and very quickly heads up toward the surface, spiraling as it goes.
As you all stand around in awe, suddenly from the chasm that the riddle snake emerged from, there is a huge geyser. It's a huge fountain of purple, it seems to be liquid, and it's just fountaining up here in the middle of the church.